And I love how you walked us through to see like this is how we need to frame and to go through to figure out what it is that we can do. And I want to ask you too, because I know that you've connected with different people that you've been able to help them to be able to understand, right, what their talents are. You know, I like how you had the Calling to Career Academy. You know, if somebody was coming to you and they say, Enoch, well, I don't know what my talents are. I don't think I have any gifts. I don't really understand, my knowledge base, right? I don't have I can't speak, right? I'm like Moses, right? You know what I mean? I don't have no speech base, right? I guess the only thing I really have is the time that God gave me, right? But what is that first step that you would tell them that they need to start on if they're gonna understand what their talents and their gifts are?
Yeah, well, one of the first things is an exercise I take my students through, and I go over it in our evangelistic business challenge. Is
Mm,
in this talent framework, I have several ways that I teach it. Sometimes I share it with my story of discovering each talent. Sometimes I share it with the different ways that you could sell or start business models or sell things relating to each talent. And then I've got trainings where I show you if you have the one talent, like the man who said, "Oh, I just have one talent," or "I have no
mhm,
talent," or the biggest issue that I would say with people is not that you don't have any talents, is that you don't value the talent that God gave you. Because if people are saying, "I can't speak," it's like you have a mouth. God gave you. All of us have the ability to communicate.
mm.
Helen Keller was deaf, dumb, and blind. She wrote books. She communicated to the masses, and she inspired millions.
Yeah.
And you say, don't tell me that you can't communicate. When I first
Mm.
started speaking, I can tell you my first sermon was shaky. It was embarrassing. I was stuttering. I was like
Right.
awkward. I was flipping a pen and dropping it. I literally like ripped off some dude's sermon and I transcribed it all and I read it verbatim. I even say it in his corny phrases, but I didn't know what I was doing.
But you
And
started though.
I started and I just used what I had. And literally I invited all my friends, family, teachers. I got a list of every teacher I ever had from
Mm.
kindergarten to I think I was a junior in high school at the time. And I invited them to my first sermon. I said, "Hey, I just gave my heart to Christ. I'm invited to speak at my church. I want to invite you." I invited
Mm.
my vice president, vice principal. I invited the biology teachers who taught me
That's
evolution.
awesome.
I invited everyone. And this little church was packed.
That's
When I first
awesome.
started, there was a few people coming, but when I spoke, it was almost standing only, and
Mm.
I was so embarrassed. And I was trying to preach for like an hour and 40 minutes, but I ended up going for 2.5 hours because I didn't know how to
Wow.
stop. I didn't know how to like shorten it. And I just tell you this because it's like I had my friend who I told him, "Hey, whenever you hear this certain cue, I want you to say amen." And he's like, "Okay." But my friend had a hard time staying awake, so he's just like over there sleeping in the pew, and I say the cue, he's like, "Amen." And
That
then
is so awesome.
and so I just say this because like people look at me now and they're like, "Oh, yeah, Enoch, you're naturally talented at communicating. You can
Come
communicate
on.
for a living, but I can't because that's just God has gifted you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm
Mm.
naturally talented after a 3,000 presentations.
Yes.
You'll become
Yes.
naturally talented too." But
Yeah.
some of the things, all of these talents, they're universal. I call them your hidden talent because it's hidden to you until you value it, until you cultivate it. And then as you develop to the highest capacity you can, God will bless you. Wouldn't you want to partner with God in your business, partner with God in your development, in your education? And you can learn just like I learned. And it's just by making a decision, anybody can choose.
Mm.
And God can work with you. It's accepted according to what a man hath, not what he hath not. So those are some of
Mm.
the things that I share with people. And then I have a framework that I go through, just a series of questions to help them discover specifically exactly what is theirs, but it would be different depending on who it is. And we go over that in the Evangelistic Business Challenge. But in short, I think those are some things that would be helpful for people to recognize that they have a talent and how to discover it.
Oh man, that's awesome. Your hidden talent is the one that you're not, right? That you're not being, that you're taking for granted, right? You're taking that talent for granted. I know somebody's hearing that, and we're talking to you. Yes, you. Yes, you. No, stop saying this. No, yes, you, right? You're taking that talent for granted, right? Once you realize that this is a gift from God, then you can cultivate it. Even Jesus said, he told the Father, give me a little bit more time, right? And let me dung this tree about, right? He wanted to give more time to cultivating, right? So start cultivating that talent, and you will see that it could grow to be something great for you that God could use you for. Thanks for watching the Line and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you, and we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.